So I'm Steve Dunn, and I'm the Director of the School of Education at Newman University. And today is the day we're saying goodbye to Don Hufford. He's been with the School of Education since 1992. So for 22 years, he has been a stalwart in the School of Education. He's worked with the elementary education program. He's taught a course in philosophy and history of education. And in that particular course, the students are taught about the evolution of educational thought and theory and philosophy. And he does an amazing job with the kids. I know when I came here, he was just this energetic faculty member, so involved with everything that was going on in the School of Ed. And he continued to be involved, totally involved in the function of the school until a couple of years ago he started having some heart problems. And then this fall, unfortunately, he told me that he wasn't going to be able to continue. So it's not because he doesn't want to, and it certainly isn't because he isn't making a difference in the lives of students. In his course, he introduces the students to the philosophy of education, but it's more than that. It's a philosophy of life. And he imparts his wisdom because over his 80-plus years, he's acquired a lot of wisdom. He's a prolific writer. He is constantly preparing journal articles and then being invited to conferences to present. This past fall, he was invited to a conference in California, and unfortunately, he wasn't able to make the conference. And the thing that was tragic about that is they were dedicating that conference to him, and the journals were going to be bound in a book, and they were dedicating that book to Don. And he wasn't able to make it because of his health issues. So when he came to me this fall and said, I'm not going to be able to continue on, it was a sad day for the School of Education. But he still makes a difference in the lives of students. We have an NSP program where the students take a capstone course in one of the 4 strands of our general education program. And he teaches one of the courses in one of those capstone courses. And so he's now getting students from across campus, not just education majors, who are finding the treasure that Don Hufford is, because he truly is a treasure. One of the things that has inspired me about Don is the love that he has for his wife. Unfortunately, Ed.D died in 2002, the fall that I came as a full-time faculty member, so I never had a chance to meet her. She was in the throes of her cancer when I came. It's been interesting to continue to watch Don's affection for his wife. Every year he writes an article for the newspaper in memory of Evie. And apparently the two of them worked closely together in the School of Education. So I can imagine the dynamic duo that, that Don Hufford and his wife were back in the 90s and the early 2000s. So it's with just a great regret that we see a closure of this chapter of the Huffords with the School of Education. They've made a huge difference, not only in the lives of students, but faculty and staff who've had an opportunity to work with them. So we're going to miss Don. We love him, we admire him, we've all been inspired by him. So it's a sad day, but we know that it's time for Don to move on.